Hello and welcome. This is Campbell from Autodidactic here for another podcast. And today the topic is those who wish to be gods. So thank you for joining me and let's get into it. Those who wish to be gods. Now, when we look around this realm, it's pretty obvious that there are beings out there, people who wish to control others, and basically who wish to control everything. And the basis of this is they really do want to be gods, the gods on earth. And this, of course, you can tie back to the whole the devil being thrown out of heaven, and many other, theosophies and mythologies, the archons, the jinns, the demiurge. It's all this story about another entity that is not the creator, that is not the light, that is jealous and it wants to become the creator, and it wants to become the god of the physical world. And this is something that came to me as a thought many years ago. I've been researching alternative information, shall we say, for a very, very long time. But when the internet came in, obviously that gave me access to a lot more information. And it was pretty early on in having access to the internet and looking what was out there that I realised that the goal of these people, the real goal behind it all, is they want to be gods of Earth. They want to be the gods down here, and this is what they are trying to do. And by doing that, they think that they will elevate themselves to that place of a creator, and who knows where it comes from. Probably poor little me syndrome. They just want people to worship them because they have no substance. So these people are the archons, the parasites. And it really is, it's really one entity, like a parasitic ball type of entity, and we just see all the tendrils, which are the talking heads on the idiot box and on the movies and the radio and the bands and all this kind of stuff. They're all parts of this collective mindset that is trying to take over the creation. And of course, evil, the word evil is lived backwards. And this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to invert everything. And so if they think that if they change everything and invert it, that they become the creator of it. So as an example, what is happening at the moment out in the big wide world with the magical mystery bug is, you've probably all heard of the letters R, N, and A. Just have to be careful what I say here, and how the cure that they are spruiking will actually change those letters. And by doing that, it's like what Monsanto did when they got into seeds and they changed the genetic makeup of those seeds so that they could patent them, because after they changed the genetic makeup, they said this is no longer made by nature. It's made by us, so we own it, so we can patent it. This is the same kind of tech that is behind what they are currently trying to persuade people to put into their bodies. And it's going to have the same effect. They want to own everything. They want to own the creation. They want the creation to be theirs, so that then they can do what they want, I guess, with their twisted little minds. But this is really what the whole end game is. And this is what we're seeing now. And of course, we're in times that have been talked about for so long, through everything, theosophy, philosophy, mythology, storytelling, all this stuff from all over the earth. They all talk about a time when this will happen, when there will be a great battle, a war of good against evil. and it will really be a war of choosing sides, and whoever chooses badly and goes with evil will end up with evil, and whoever chooses good will end up with good. And this is this is what we're told so often, and also through our modern songs and movies and literature, it's all the same story. And so here we find ourselves the apocalypse, and the apocalypse of course means the lifting of the veil. So the apocalypse is literally where our perception and our awareness get bigger, and we see and are aware of more things. And we've definitely seen that go on in the last 12-13 months. We're definitely being shown that this reality that we thought we were in was nothing more than a game show, just a movie. And we've been told that all the world is a stage and all the people on it just actors. And again, this kind of message has come down through his story or the past as well. And so here we find ourselves at the apocalypse, the end times, many have called it. And of course, everything is cyclical. So the end times are also the start times. This is also the time when we get to change things and we get to start to build something different. And so it's nothing to be afraid of, because all it is an unveiling. It's letting us see more so that we can make better decisions. And of course it is an attack. We are under attack. This is war. Have no doubt about it. This is where we are. And of course we've been told what the tools of the devil are. The tools of the dark ones and the parasites. They're just manipulation and fear and lies and deceit, which again is exactly what we're seeing right now. And it really is a case of offer and acceptance, because they don't want you to know, but all of this stuff, it's just an offer. It's just an offer, and we can say no, and they can do nothing about it. And they know this, but they don't tell us this because they want us to think we have no choice, which again is one of their weapons. But when you understand that they are out there to rule you, then why would you listen to what they are saying? Why would the people who have caused what's gone on in the past 12 months be the same ones with a solution to fix it? Clearly, we know, people listening to this will understand that there are nefarious entities at work here. And, everyone really does know this deep down, because everyone knows about war and poverty and theft and all this stuff, but they sort of try and tell themselves that it doesn't really exist and everything's okay. It's very strange. Maybe it's a defense mechanism so they don't have to deal with it. But quite clearly, when you look around this realm, this is not a realm made for us, to empower us. This is more a realm made to control us, to keep us down, to keep our energy vibration down and low, to keep us in fear, and basically to keep us controlled and controllable. And this is of course what they want, because again, if they can control us, then they can manipulate us into doing certain things that may change our makeup, so that they can then say, we now own you, we own this being, because you can't make it in nature, we've altered it. And then they, in their minds, they have made a new creation. Of course, we know that it's just altering, and making something that was perfect worse. But isn't this what they do all the time? I mean, look at Hollywood. How many remakes of movies are there? I think it's all they're doing at the moment. The same with music, all this kind of stuff. It's just remakes after remakes, because these people have no creativity. They're not here to build. They really don't want to create. They don't have that creative spark, and that's why it's so, they or it, this entity, parasite, it's why it's so jealous. It doesn't have the gifts that we have. It's So it can't actually create. It can only take things other people have created and warp them and then say that it owns it because it's changed it. And this is exactly what's happening right now, guys. So this is biblical, if you want to use that word. This is a war, and it's time that we all stand up and say no more. Because who is there that can tell you what to do? Who has power over you? Who gave someone else power over you? This whole concept of some people have power and some people don't, and there's some people who are rulers and some people have to follow the rules. It's silly, and at this point it's outdated and it's archaic. It's clearly from the last age, and we're now in a new age. We're now in the age of Aquarius. The age of Pisces has gone. Pisces, water, maritime law, all that kind of stuff. It's gone. So we need to build a new world. We need to be the creators and to show this, well, not even to show, but just to ignore this parasite that's trying to take over and prove that we're the creators. We are the real. We're the creation and the creators. We're the ones who can create in our minds and then build things in the physical world. And this is what we need to do, is to build better things, better places, better systems, better communities, better ways of doing things, better ways of, harvesting energy and all these types of things. Get back and get connected to the land through food and water, and connection, literally walking around it with bare feet on. Because these are all the things, all the simple little things that they have stopped us doing. We have soles on our feet. The soul, that's the connection to the earth, right? The soul. That's why it's on the bottom of your foot, because it's a connection to the earth energies, to this realm. But what are we told? No, you need shoes. And the sole's actually on the shoe, it's not on your foot. No, shoes have soles. But of course all that is that's just a barrier to disconnect us from the earth. So everything, everything, the fibres they put in the clothes and those, face diapers, the food, the water, the jobs, the ultraviolet lights that they put people under in these boxes with recycled air conditioning, everything needs to go, because all it does is serve to disempower us. And like I said, everything is an offer and acceptance, and as long as we go along with it, they will keep pushing their agenda as far as they can. All we need to do is stand in our power and say no, and understand that no one gets to make rules for us. No one can tell you what to do. No one has the right to, unless they can prove they're God or that you're their slave. Really, and they can't do either of those. And of course no one is a slave. You have to be, slavery, so you can't be a slave either. So this is the thing. No one owns you, no one rules you. As long as you do no harm, you can do what you want. And I'm talking, you don't need a license to drive a car. You don't need to pay taxes. You don't need to do any of this stuff. Even property taxes. If you know how to handle yourself and you know who you are and what you are, then you can get out of all this stuff. And of course, you do need to, I'm not telling you to go out and do this now. You need to get information and be autodidactic and research this, and at least know, you don't need to know everything, you just need to know the basics, and more importantly is you need to know who you are. And you need to really become that person, because when it comes down to it and push comes to shove, it's going to be you alone, and you have to be able to stand there in your power, understanding that you're a sovereign being and that you were not created a slave. That this place was created for you, and as long as you create no harm and do no harm, then you don't need to answer to anyone, you don't need to pay anyone. And if you can stand in that power, that is you will beat courts. That's the law. Like, they have to prove that you're part of their corporation. So just don't understand that. Don't be part of their corporation. Just be a man or a woman standing there in flesh. If they say, "Who are you?" just tell them, I'm standing right here in front of you. Can you not see me? Because what they're trying to do is get you to conjoin with a name that they created, which is a false dead entity. And once you do that, you become an employee of their corporation, and they can then, do all these things, sue you and jail you and everything. And so this is also them trying to be the gods, trying to say that they have control and power. And of course, it's not our fault. And we have been programmed into this reality. And of course, all the resets and everything, we started on the back foot. But at this point, I don't think there's any excuses. All the information's out there. Like I said, the veil is lifting, and it's lifting fast. So it's time that we all did our part. The universe is playing its part. It's showing us the scam. So let's stand up and say, yes, it's a scam, and I will not play anymore. I'm not interested in your warped, sense of creation. I'm not going down that road. But it's also not our job to tell other people not to. If they want to do that, well, that's what they choose. What we need to do is focus on going where we want, and to be the true creators, and to get out there and to truly create the world that we want. Because everything that we need is out there. We have all the answers already, all the solutions, they're all there. And when you start putting intention and work into something, all the people that you need will suddenly show up as well. So, this is a realm that's built to help us, but they want us to believe that, it's built to fight us. They want us to believe that there's scarcity. But seriously, nature, scarcity? Have you ever walked into a forest? Have you ever seen a piece of fruit and how many seeds are in it? Scarcity, the only scarcity exists in our minds. And this is the whole thing about this, this cult of that we're in, is it's just all about getting us to believe what they want us to believe. Ultimately, if they can control our thoughts, they can control our actions, and then they truly are the gods of us, the rulers of us. But not by force, because we've given it over to them. We've given our power away. And we have to stop doing that. And even if you have given your power away in the past, then that's fine, because you didn't know. Fraud was committed against you, so take your power back and stand in it. Learn a bit about the law if you feel you need to, but most of all, learn about yourself and just think about it. Just think about it. Why would anyone have the right to control you? Why does the fact that someone went and got a certain job and wears a certain uniform, why does that give them the right to bully you and harass you and rob you and beat you up and all these things that we know goes on? Because the truth is, those people in those uniforms, they actually don't work for us. They're not there to protect us. They work for the corporation. And again, all governments are corporations, traded and listed on the ICC, is that it, in the US? And you can find your country there. You can go and do a search for it. They're all corporations. And so all these people that are running around trying to steal money from us for driving too fast or for parking in the wrong spot, they've got nothing to do with us, because we don't work for their corporation. So the only reason that works is if we acquiesce and we don't ask questions. And if we just give them the money, then they just take it and they say, awesome. And they go out and rob more people. But is this a world that we want to continue, that we want to perpetuate, that we want to, build for our children and grandchildren and the future? Because I've said before, this time will be spoken about. In the future, it will be. This is a pivotal time that we're living through. And, I was told this time was coming many, many years ago when I was like 14. I was told it was coming, and I was told that I would see it, and there would be great change and a great battle and all this stuff. And here we are. So many people knew this was coming. And of course, the parasites have written down their plans. They have to tell us. So it's all there. So at this point, the only reason that people are acquiescing and giving up their rights and the freedoms of themselves and their children and grandchildren and others around them, the only reason that they are doing that is because they believe other people have power over them. They don't believe that they have the power. Now, if you're a Christian or any other kind of denomination or religion, you're told you're created perfect and that you have the power in you. So why would you give that up? Isn't that against your teachings to say that anyone has power to tell you what to do? It says, it's only God, right, or Allah, or whatever name you want to put on it. So why? This is the other thing, and with the syringe. Again, it tells us that we're created perfect in this realm with everything we need, and people will go to worship, and then they'll come back and have a syringe. Now that means that they don't believe what they're out there saying they believe, because they don't believe that they're created perfect and everything is given to them in nature that they need. They believe that they need something that a man, human person has created. And this is crazy. We need to understand. We need to grow up is what we need to do, because it's like we're teenagers and the nanny state, right? The government, the mind controllers are the parents. But we need to say, well, look, we're grown up now. We're going to make our own decisions. We're moving out. We're getting our own house. We're making our own rules. Thank you for everything, but goodbye. And by the way, you don't have the right to tell me what to do, and you can't steal from me. So they're like bad parents, and they're like the bad parents. Or the bad old man from Oliver Twist at the orphanage. So yeah, this is the thing, and I really wanted to get that across, is these people literally, they're demented, they're warped, but they truly believe that they will be gods on earth. That's what they've, sold the bottom of their feet for, and they've sold that for physical gain. This is what they've been told, and they all believe it, and of course we can see a lot of them have had those physical gains recently, but looks like they're all starting to be withdrawn, shall we say, because where are all these people? Where are all the bands? Where are all the actors? All the people from TV shows? Sure, there's still a few things being put out as far as shows and movies, and even a few songs have been released. They've even had a few of their ceremonies, but as far as these people being out and in the public and being seen like they used to be, and getting all in the papers and everything, that hasn't happened for a year. They've all disappeared. What has happened? The monarchs, everything. Where are these people? So this is the thing. They definitely want to be, gods on earth. But the thing is, like I said, it was written that this would all happen, but it's also written everywhere. They all come to the same conclusion. We win. So we already have won. So this is the thing, again, don't buy into the fear. Like, again, just stand in your power that we've already won. This is a done deal. The game's already been played. We're just going through the motions at this point. So, the more we stand in our power, the faster we'll get through this, and the faster we'll get to a better world. We're going to get there anyway, but the time frame is what's up to us. So... like I said, it's not up to us to judge other people. They can do what they want. The best way to teach is through example. And the example we need to give now is that we're free. We're free, men and women. And as long as we do no harm, then we don't need to answer to anyone. No one has control of us. Everything that they say we must do, it's all an offer. Understand that. And just say, no thank you. Thanks, but no thanks. And that's all we need to do. And they can't do anything. So, education is always key. But just do keep in mind that a little bit of information can actually be can be pretty harmful. If you've only got half the story or something. So, especially to do with law, it's much better to learn about standing in your power and who you are, and just reasoning that out. Why would anyone have power over me? Than it is to learn, a bit of law and a bit of what you should say, and to stuff it up. Because if you try and get into that in the law bit, and you try and get into saying things lawfully, if you do make one mistake, you kind of stuff the whole thing up. So much better to work on understanding where your power is and where the power is, and it's in you. It's not in these, you know, parasitic mind controllers who are on the idiot box every night. They just want you to believe they have the power. And that, again, is their biggest tool. You know, it's coercion and fear and fraud and all this stuff. So there we go. That, you know, this entity, the Archon, it's out there. We can see it. We know it's out there. It's pushing hard. Just reject it. Turn your head. Put your energy and your focus on where you want to go and what you want to build. You know, because of course we know as far as jobs and work and all that stuff, that's gone. That's gone. That was, you know, that was last cycle. That was the last age, and the last age is over. It's all gone. Everything has changed. We just need to catch up and understand that it has. So understand that now you can do whatever you want. You know, as long as, obviously, as long as you hurt no one, but as far as giving value, as long as we all do something to give value, then we'll be fine. That's all we need to do. And we've all got greatness inside us, you know, and so we all have that value to give. You know, a lot of people say they don't know what it is, but, you know, I have a sneaking suspicion that everyone really does know what it is. A lot of people just don't want to acknowledge it, or, you know, it comes down to they don't believe maybe that's their gift or that they'll be good at it. But, I mean, you know, what's the worst that could happen, right? And put that up against what's the best that could happen. You know, the best, you know, far outweighs the worst. So, you know, whatever it is you wanted to do as a kid, whatever that burning passion is, whatever it is, no matter how silly you think people might find it, just get out and do it. Because that's your gift, and we need your gifts. You're part of the puzzle. We need all the pieces to so that we can see the big picture, right? So that we can create that wonderful masterpiece and work of art. So there you go, guys. I think that's about all I had to say on that topic. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Podcast from Autodidactic. So this will go up on YouTube and Odysee, but I will also be getting a podcast platform in the near future where all these non-visual videos will go, all the podcasty type things. And also, so thanks for listening. Leave me a comment, please. Of course, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and share this content around if you find it valuable. It really does help, you know, given all the things that are going on with algorithms lately. Of course, always a massive big hug and thank you to everyone who supports this channel in whatever way you can, by liking, sharing, all that stuff. And of course, everyone who does support me on PayPal, Patreon, and through my merch store. Yeah, obviously always so thankful, because that really does keep me going. And because, yeah, this is pretty much my job now. And if you would like to contribute and help out, there are links below. And also, yeah, so leave me a comment if there's any topics that you'd like me to cover. I have got a few that I've written down that have come up that I'll be getting into. But yeah, any topics, or anyone that you'd like me to get on for a chat on for a specific topic as well, leave me a comment below. Alright guys, thank you for spending some time with me. Stay awesome, because you are, and I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.